Hey, right now I'm going to teach you my sales secrets. Hey, it's Ted McGrath, and in this video I'm going to jump in and teach you my best sales secrets right now. So right here is a free gift on the top 5 sales secrets, and I want you to download it right now because I've learned this in 20 years of entrepreneurship. So I want to teach them to you right now. There's 5 key secrets that are going to blow you away. So whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a professional, whether you're a salesperson, whatever you are, we all need to learn how to sell. And most people do selling in a tacky way where they're talking all the time and they're trying to close the customer all the time. I've got a way that feels good and a way that works and actually will increase your sales ability and your sales conversions. How about that, right? I know this because I started in the insurance business when I was 21 years old, and I learned a sales process that was kind of counter to most insurance processes. When you think of insurance people, you think of like somebody chasing you down, you think of somebody like selling you something because, oh, buy this life insurance because you're going to die, or buy this thing because something terrible is going to happen. And a lot of times people think of insurance people or salespeople as kind of like snake oil salesmen, but we learned a really great process in sales, and I've been using it for 20 years. That's how great it is, so I want to share it with you right now in this video. So the first thing I want to talk to you about sales secrets is sales is purely about inspiring people on their transformation, their desires, or their vision. So think about that for a second. Like, to get somebody to take action, are you more inspired to take action when you're inspired and you're feeling good? Or are you kind of like less likely to take action if you're feeling like kind of okay about something, right? You're going to take action if you feel really inspired. So you want to get people to a place of inspiration. Now there's different things that move people to a place of inspiration, but I can tell you something. My definition of sales is to inspire people to take action on their vision and dreams and not yours. That's what I believe sales is. Because if you're thinking about the customer and what inspires the customer to take action, you're going to get them to take action every time. Because if you're really listening to them and you're understanding what motivates them, if you're understanding their dreams or their basic desires, because some products, like, I sell coaching products, I sell products that teach people how to grow businesses, so that might be related more to people's dreams and what they want. But there's also other products that people sell that just have to do with desires, like I want this pencil, or I want this camera, or I want this car. Those are desires, right? Some of them could be dreams if they're really cool things, but at the end of the day, we're working with desires and dreams. So why not inspire people to take action on their vision and their dreams? But how would you do that? You first have to know what they are. So at the very basic of this, you have to know what somebody's desire is. Now, what most people do in sales is they come in and they know everything about the product. They have the product knowledge, and then they come and they call and talk to you all about the product. Like, I had a product guy come over. They just delivered a Mercedes to me, a 2019 G-Wagon. It's a really beautiful G-Wagon. And the guy came who sold it, and then the guy came who was the product officer. So the product guy was very knowledgeable on the product. So we got in the car and he just started explaining different things to me. But he really didn't ask me precisely like, what are the things I want to know about the car? He asked me a question like, do you want to know the basics about the car? Or do you want like the 2-hour demo? I was like, just the basics. But he could have dove in a little bit more to find out what is my true desire of what I want to know about the car. And it would have been a lot more focused and a lot more better, and I would have walked away with more knowledge, you see? So something as simple as that, where the sale is already even done, customer satisfaction comes from making sure that you're selling somebody something that they truly desire and they truly want. Super important. In the insurance business, we have a very consultative process. I'm not in the insurance business anymore. I'm in the coaching business, the speaking business, and the acting business. But at the end of the day, when I started in insurance, the questions we were asking was, what is most important to the customer? So we would always want to know what's most important to the customer. Because if the customer tells us what's most important, that establishes the whole discussion, and all of our sales knowledge that we know about the product, everything we know about the product revolves around that thing. What's important to the customer, what's most important to them, what's their desire, what's their dream. If you nail that, the entire basis of how you sell from there on is focused on what's going to get you the sale, and what's going to get you the sale is what the customer wants, not what you want. You clearly want the sale, but if you help the customer get what they want, if you're clear on what they want, most salespeople aren't. If you're clear on what they want, you're going to know how to direct your entire presentation specifically to what they want. So if I'm selling a car to somebody, or I'm selling a pool, or I'm selling a house, or I'm selling a coaching program, whatever I'm selling, if I make the link between the customer's desire and my product, I'm going to sell it every time. You see, most people never make the link. So they never inspire the customer into action because they haven't made the link. The bridge or the link, right, between your product and the customer's desire, that's like the link or the bridge. The bridge is the inspiration. Look at that as inspiration. Now, if you're not making the link, right, and there's just the customer's desire and you don't know about it, and then there's your product and you're all about the product, there's no bridge, there's no inspiration. So the customer's not inspired to take action. And it's not going to happen. Very basic, but very few people ask questions like this to understand what their customer wants. That's why we have a lot of subpar salespeople. People aren't making a lot of money. How did I make 6 figures in income my first year in the business? In the insurance business, I was hungry. How have I made millions of dollars now? I understand what my customer's desiring, and we focus our sales process around that. That's the first thing. The second sales secret that you need to know about is diffusing objections, because that's entirely about asking questions as well. When somebody puts up an objection of like, I don't have the time or I don't have the money, the first reaction, and most of our coaches before we train them, or our salespeople before we train them, we call them sales coaches, before we train them, they used to kind of have a rebuttal. So they used to fight the other person. So somebody would go, I don't have the money, and they'd go, boom, right? Kind of wonder why the wars have been started in the world, right? Somebody originates something and says something, you're like, boom, smash them. So most salespeople are trained to fight. They want to fight the other person's point of view. If somebody's fighting your point of view, do you really feel good about the conversation? No. If somebody's like clamping down on you, not listening to you, and they're like, but you should do this because, but you know, it's a really great product, and they're not listening to what you're saying, do you want to buy from them? Even if you do buy from them, that's the thing that creates buyer's remorse. So, you know, it's amazing to me how most people haven't learned this over a lifetime of doing sales, or even in the beginning of doing sales. But here's the thing. Most people in the world, in conversations, they fight. It's always, there's no acknowledgement of somebody else's point of view or their idea on something. So most conversations, people aren't even listening. So this really stems from the basic communication. The reason people aren't good at handling objections as salespeople is they don't know how to communicate. Simple communication is like, listen to what somebody says. Hear what they say, acknowledge what they say. Once you do that, then share what you want to say. So this is such a basic thing, but you wonder why people aren't good at sales and handling objections, because the moment the objection comes up, they don't even listen. They're just trained to like, okay, here's how you overcome this objection, as if all objections are the same. Like, my money situation is the same as everybody else's money situation on the face of the planet. Is that the most idiotic thing you've ever heard in your life? Like, who teaches this shit, right? People who teach this stuff, they have no idea how to communicate in life. So ultimately, when you really think about handling an objection, somebody's money situation is unique to them. Somebody's time situation is unique to them. Somebody's dream is unique to them. So why wouldn't you treat every conversation as if it's unique? You know, I have different people in my life who are offering me up different products and services, and people who regularly do it all the time to me. And the one lesson they haven't learned is they've never really asked. Like, they don't ask the important questions. So after a while, you kind of get tired of dealing with the people, right? You just kind of like, I go through my own sales process myself to sell me on what's the right decision, because it's just going to be flow communication where nobody's listening, or nobody wants to know like what the consideration or what I'm thinking about. So get into your client's mind, figure out what they're thinking. That's how you handle an objection. So if somebody's like, well, you're going to sell the pen, or you're selling the house, and they're like, I don't know. Or you can feel, like you can sense that they're unsure. Why don't you go, so what are you thinking right now? What a great question. Holy cow. Getting inside the head of your customer. As simple as, what are you thinking right now? If somebody pauses and you're talking to them and they're feeling hot, and all of a sudden they pause and they stop communicating quickly with you or responding in like a fast unit of time, if they're just like delayed, you know what you do? You just go, so what are you thinking right now? It's that simple. They might be I'm kind of processing it. Oh, cool. How do you process? I'd love to learn how do you process so you can make the best decision for yourself. Well, I kind of process kind of thinking through it a little bit. Great. So let's think through this together. That's why I'm here, to support you. That's my role, is to support you to come to the best decision. So inform me. Tell me what you're thinking. And the customer will. Amazing, right? If they go like, well, I don't know that I have the time. You go, great. Let's talk about that. I think it's really important that you have the time for this. So if you feel you don't have the time, let's talk about why you might not have the time right now. And they go, well, you know, I got a lot of things going on, and you said this is something you truly desire. So do you think it's important for you to find time for the things you desire? They go, yeah. Okay, great. So let's find the time. Don't have the money. Let's find the money. Let's be resourceful. Let's figure out a way to go get the thing that we want. Anybody who's ever done anything, or anybody who's launched a business or bought something that's high ticket or high price, had to think through to figure out how to make the move. Even if you have the money, You know, you're like, which bank account should I send it from? This one or that one, or like, and then you kind of think through your process of like, okay, how's that going to affect my overall situation? So the easiest way to diffuse an objection is when the client brings it up, great, thanks for telling me. Let's talk about it. If they're not talking to you and giving you anything, you just go, what are you thinking about right now? And then it becomes the easiest thing to answer. And then as long as you're always cycling back, they're like, I don't have the money. Great. Do you think it's important for you to find the money for something that you truly desire? You go, yeah. So let's talk about how we can find the money. Or let's talk about where we can get the money from. Or let's talk about the credit source that you can get it from. Or let's talk about retirement accounts where you might have money in. Right? All these little things add up to diffusing an objection. The third thing that you must know, the third sales secret, is fast action. Fast action, doing it now, is created through bonuses or pricing. So if I tell you right now, hey, on this phone call, we have fast action pricing, where you're going to get a $5,000 savings if you take action on this phone call, are you likely to take action on this phone call? Yeah. We even tell the customer when we do fast action pricing, we just go, listen, here's the deal. Like, we understand the sales cycle. We understand that life gets busy. We understand that this is your dream or this is your desire and you want it. We realize that most people that we let get off the phone really never come back. So you're perfectly welcome to get off the phone right now if you want, but the pricing is going to be higher when you come back. That's simple. So fast action pricing gets people to go, oh, if I get a discount if I do it now, and that's how we do it. And yes, if you do it now, you get a discount. If you come back later, you don't get the discount. Make sense? Pretty simple, right? That's the way you should run fast action pricing. And when you do it, you should stick to it. If they come back later, we give them a 24-hour window, okay? So even if they don't do it on the phone, we give them a 24-hour window, right? And they know that clock is ticking, so they know they have to make a decision in 24 hours, otherwise there's a consequence. Fast action pricing, or a bonus. Hey, if you do this now, I'll throw in this bonus. That's called fast action, right? If you do it now, you get this. You give people incentive to take action now, because most people aren't trained in their life to take action on things that they want right away. It's like they haven't developed that skill set. So third secret, fast action, bonuses or pricing. The fourth thing that you should know is educate your customer. A customer that understands will ultimately take action. So don't think that your customer understands your product like you do. Like most people, when I was going to buy a car or when I was going to buy a house, I didn't understand the process of how you go about buying a house. When I bought my house when I was 22, I was like, I don't understand the process of how do you buy a house. So I had all these considerations and a little confusion and a little bit of hesitation because I'm like, I'm kind of out of my league here. I've never bought a house before. So if somebody educated me on the buying process and step by step, and they showed me a blueprint, and said, step 1 is this, Ted. Step 2 is this. Step 3 is this. Step 4 is this. Do you have any questions, Ted? They would have educated me on the process. I would have felt confident in the process, and I would have moved forward more aggressively. So too many times a salesperson assumes that the customer knows just as much about the product as they do, but they don't. So educate your customer on the essentials of what they need to know. Ask them the question, is there anything you don't understand about this product right now that you'd like clarification on it? Hey, by the way, any question is a good question. Just feel free to ask anything, even the most basic thing, because some of the most basic stuff is the most important. When we just got our car, my fiance and I were looking at the thing. I was like, man, he never showed us how to use the navigation system, right? Probably a thing we would use all the time. Also, like where's like the thing to actually open up the gas tank? Like, where's that? Like, I don't even know how do you open the gas tank. Like, I could look all over the car, but you think about the most basic things, like we're learning the other things about the car, how to change the lighting and stuff. Well, yeah, I'm gonna use that. But what about like how to fill it up with gas or how to find out where I'm going? That's the most basic stuff. But we skipped over those things. So when you think about it, really, really, really make sure your customer understands the most simple things, and then it'll go faster, the sales process. The final thing that you should know is let them close. Let the customer close. The way you let them close is you make it their idea. So as long as you've started at point number 1 where you know their desire or their dream, they're going to close themselves. The way you close them is by asking them questions. So when it comes down to the objection time, and they're talking to you about their objections, you just ask them questions and they'll close themselves. See, a lot of times people think they just have to close. Do you need to follow up? Yes. Right? But as long as you've established what the customer wants and you know this is a desire, as long as you keep in communication with them, you keep asking them questions, eventually the customer is going to close themselves. Now, do you make a call to action like you feel like they're at the point where you followed up with them, you've talked to them about everything you need to talk about, you know what's important to them, so you're like, great, so I know this is important to you, and this is what you desire, is that right? And they go, yeah. This is a challenge you were facing. They're like, yeah, this is a challenge I was facing. Do you feel like we solved the challenge today in our conversation? We're like, yeah, great. Are you ready to move forward? And they'll go, yeah. So those 3 questions, is this a desire that you want? They're like, yeah. Is this a challenge? Did we solve the challenge today? Yes. Do you feel like you're ready to move forward? Yes. I'm getting agreement all through the process. So when I go, are you ready to move forward? They go, yes, great. I've already gotten them to say yes, yes, yes. You see? So they're closing themselves because has your desire been met? Has your challenge been solved? Great, so let's move forward with this thing. And that's how you get somebody to close. It's really that simple, right? 1, 2, 3. So I hope this served you. These are the 5 secrets that I wanted to share with you. All you need to do right now is go grab the gift on my top 5 sales secrets. It's right here. I know you're gonna love it, whatever industry you're in. It's more of a deep dive and it's more methodical too, so you can go out and kind of sketch things out as well. And I hope it serves you. If you liked this video, if you felt like you got some value, which I hope you did if you're in the sales industry, go like this down below. I want to share this with as many people as possible. The more you like it, the more it helps me. So if I helped you, help me back. And if you have a question, down in the comment section, ask that question. I want to help you more and serve you more. So ask me a question. And of course, I'll be serving you more as long as you subscribe to the channel. I'll continue to give you free videos and serve you more and more and more. So I hope this serves you. I'll see you soon in the next video. Ted McGrath signing off.